Imagine finding someone who promises to guide your financial journey with advice that's in your best interest, only to discover that they have hidden agendas that could potentially derail your financial goals. Sounds alarming, right? Indeed, yet that is exactly what can happen if you hire certain types of financial advisors for their financial advice. Hello everyone, this is Professor Ikram, and in today's video, I'm going to talk to you about a few conflicts of interest that can arise when you seek financial advice from certain types of financial advisors and how you can safeguard yourself against them. To set the stage, let's first talk about the different types of financial advisors depending on how they get compensated for providing their services. First, there are commission-based advisors. They make their money from the commissions they earn selling financial products, like mutual funds, insurance policies, and annuities to their clients. In many cases, you will find them working for major firms like Edward Jones or Merrill Lynch. However, these firms usually give these financial advisors little to no salary, but instead, mostly just operational support, like access to their research. As you can imagine, this compensation structure creates a conflict of interest, since the advisors are incentivized to recommend products and actions that offer them a higher commission, and not necessarily those that are best suited to their clients' needs. In a very interesting study, MIT professor Sendhil Mullainathan and his co-authors sent trained auditors posing as potential clients to these financial advisors to seek advice on their existing portfolios. And these auditors deliberately presented portfolios that were either biased towards low diversification or towards funds that had high fees. And then they observed whether these financial advisors either corrected them or whether they reinforced these biases. And sure enough, the study found that on average, commission-based advisors were more likely to recommend funds that increased their own compensation, even if it meant suggesting higher fee and more actively managed funds as opposed to lower cost and more passive alternatives. Now, another kind of financial advisors that you will see are called fee-based advisors. These advisors receive a significantly smaller portion of their compensation and commissions. The rest comes in the form of fees paid directly by you, the client. And these fees can take the form of a flat retainer, an hourly rate, a monthly or quarterly service fee, or, as is quite often the case, a percentage of the value of the portfolio that they are managing, or assets under management. So, if your portfolio does well, your advisor makes more money. Nonetheless, the potential for conflict of interest remains because there is still a part of their compensation that depends on commissions. Which brings me to the last kind of financial advisors, fee-only advisors. As the name suggests, these advisors are compensated purely through fees paid by you, the client, with no commissions from product sales. This model is widely celebrated for its potential to minimize conflicts of interest, as the advisor's income is directly and purely tied to clients' satisfaction and financial success. Which sounds great, right? In fact, over the last few years, there has been a significant shift from commission-based advisors to fee-only advisors. But please understand that conflicts of interest can arise even in this model. And that's because in most cases, fee-only advisors earn a percentage of your assets under management, and therefore they have an incentive to manage larger portfolios. In fact, this can create conflicts of interest in three specific areas. Number one, claiming of Social Security benefits. The earliest age at which you can start receiving Social Security benefits is 62. However, the system is designed so that the longer you delay getting the benefits, the greater the benefits are. In fact, the benefits reach their maximum when you are 70 years old, which means that all else equal, you should delay getting your Social Security until you are 70. However, if you retire before 70 and don't want to tap into your Social Security benefits, then you may want to tap into your retirement portfolio. And it is here that your fee-only advisor could encourage you to claim Social Security benefits instead, because they may have an incentive to manage your larger portfolio. Number 2, paying off a mortgage. Many individuals wish to have their house paid off or to be debt-free in retirement. So imagine there's a retiree with a $100,000 balance on their mortgage and $500,000 in investment assets being managed by a fee-only advisor. And let's suppose the advisor charges them a 1% assets under management fee annually. If the retiree decides to pay off the mortgage using their investment assets, their investment balance would reduce to $400,000. And consequently, the advisor's annual fee would decrease from $5,000 to $4,000. For that reason, the advisor could recommend that the client keep the mortgage in retirement. They might make the argument that the client has a better chance of earning higher returns by leaving their money invested, which is kind of true. Over the past 5 years, the S&P 500 has gained an annualized 14.7%, far exceeding the cost of carrying a 30-year mortgage. Nonetheless, this argument doesn't account for the fact that investing in the stock market is risky. So it doesn't account for the client's risk tolerance, or for that matter, their psychological comfort with debt, or the very fact that they just want to be debt-free in retirement. Number 3, buying annuities. Now, annuities get a bad rep, and often rightly so, because they come in all sorts of different, complex varieties and usually tend to have high fees. But some can potentially be good for retirees. One example is an immediate annuity, which requires a retiree to pay a lump sum amount to an insurance company in return for a fixed income for life. Immediate annuities ensure that retirees have a steady income stream, regardless of how long they live, which can be particularly valuable given the increasing life expectancies. However, the upfront cost of an immediate annuity is significant. Currently, a 65-year-old man who wants a $3,000 a month for life would need to pay around $400,000 upfront. And guess what? Your fee-only advisor may have an incentive for you to not tap into your retirement portfolio for that kind of cash. In fact, empirical evidence suggests that most fee-only financial advisors don't recommend annuities very often to their clients. Look, please don't get the wrong idea. I don't mean to suggest that fee-based or fee-only advisors are always guided by these conflicts. In fact, most fee-only advisors are, by law, required to uphold what is called the fiduciary standard. In other words, they are required to act in the best interests of their client at all times, putting the client's interests ahead of their own. But I do want you to appreciate that these conflicts do exist and can influence their advice. So with that in mind, here are a few suggestions on how you can safeguard yourself against them. Number 1, ask your financial advisor how they are compensated, whether they're commission-based, fee-based, or fee-only. Number 2, look for a financial advisor that is a fiduciary. If your advisor has a CFP or a certified financial planner degree, they are a fiduciary. If your advisor has a CFA degree, they may not be a fiduciary. So check. Number 3, do a background check on your advisor to see if there was ever a disciplinary or a regulatory action taken against them. There are several websites that you can use for this purpose, including SEC's Investment Advisor Public Disclosure website, FINRA's Broker Check website, and the CFP Board's website. Links to these websites are in the video description below, so check them out. Number 4, ask your advisor to provide you a written disclosure of any potential conflicts of interest they might have. Number 5, ask your advisor to provide you a clear and understandable explanation of their investment strategy, and specifically how that lines up with your financial goals and your risk tolerance. Number 6, maintain control over all your accounts. Make sure you retain approval authority over all transactions and that you monitor them regularly. And most importantly, number 7, educate yourself about basic investment principles and the financial markets. The more informed you are, the better you can evaluate the advice you receive. Remember that financial advisors are not meant to be a substitute for your lack of financial knowledge. They are meant to complement it. In fact, research shows that individuals with higher incomes, higher educational attainment, and higher levels of financial literacy are precisely the ones who seek financial advice in the first place. I hope you found this information useful. All the best in your financial journey. This is Professor Ikram. Thanks for tuning in. If you found this video useful, click the like button and subscribe to the channel. And feel free to ask any questions using the comment section. Happy learning.